Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to the Mound at Mound High School. Tonight's District 6A matchup between the visiting McKinney Boy Broncos and your Mound Jaguars. Starting lineups will be announced shortly following the coaches meeting at the plate. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mound at Mound High School. In the introduction of the starting lineups, we'll begin with the visiting McKinney Boy Broncos. In reserve for the Broncos, number 1, Landon Livingston. Number 2, Braxton Webb. Number 3, Parker Norrie. Number 6, Alex Lindsay. Number 7, Ryan Dempsey. Number 8, Austin Long. Number 10, Ian Mayberry. Number 12, Brock Nelson. Number 17, Austin Hewley. Number 19, Cameron Powell. Number 20, Braden Burks. Number 21, Connor Mangus. Number 23, Christian Roth. And now, ladies and gentlemen, starting lineup for the Broncos. At third base, number 9, Michael Duranzik. At second base, number 4, Logan Burlock. In center field, number 16, Will Hollis. At shortstop, number 13, Braden Webb. At first base, number 24, Grant Ressmeyer. In left field, number 11, Jason Reitmeyer. Designated hitter for the Broncos, number 14, Nathan McKinney. The catcher, number 15, Ross Madison. In right field, number 5, Bronson Holbeck. And the pitcher for the Broncos tonight, number 18, Keaton Livingston. Ladies and gentlemen, the Broncos are coached by assistants Zach James, Austin Cook, Justin Wisdom, and the head coach, Brooke Court. Ladies and gentlemen, on your feet for the starting lineup of your Mound Jaguars. At second base, number 2, Noah Hill. In left field, number 3, Skylar Cox. At first base, number 25, Sean Weimer. In center field, number 19, Jamison Hanna. At shortstop, number 13, Casey Jacobson. Designated hitter for the Jaguars, number 9, Parker Scott. At third base, number 10, Sean Holhouse. At catcher, number 4, Nick Thornquist. In right field, number 20, Chad Harris. And ladies and gentlemen, your starting pitcher tonight for the Jaguars, number 11, Caleb Killian. In reserve for the Jaguars, number 1, Ryan Snyder. Number 8, Darren Arnold. Number 6, Parker Murphy. Number 14, Austin Wagner. Number 17, Thomas Jeffries. Number 5, Eric Gion. Number 7, Trevor Jureka. Number 12, Thomas Lauer. Number 15, Derek Wells. Number 18, Alex Jensen. And number 23, Bailey Champagne. And number 26, Zach Eggers. Your Jaguars are coached by assistants Pat Watson, Jesse Cisneros, Eldon Fuel, Chris Gage, Cody Moore, and our head coach, Danny Wallace. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise, remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner.
This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by Champion Sports Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream, and any and all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Champion Sports Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Champion Sports Radio and ChampionSportsRadio.com. This is a presentation of Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcasts. After a dominant district opening win on the road last night at the Plano East Panthers, the Flower Mound Jaguars, the reigning district champions, reigning state champions, are back here at home for their District 6-6A opener. And tonight, welcome in the very formidable Broncos from McKinney Boyd High School. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here to the Mound in Flower Mound for tonight's 6-6A showdown between the 6-1 Boyd Broncos, 1-0 in district competition, taking on your Flower Mound Jaguars, 9-2 overall, 1-0 in district play. Thomas Lee here with you, along with the Dr. Alex Derling. And we're ready for another great district ball game. Last night, we only got 5 innings, and it was a very dominant 5 innings for the Jags as Sean Weimer, Thomas Lauer, and Derek Wells combined to throw a no-hitter. They only allowed 2 base runners, both of them hit by pitch. Weimer, meanwhile, at the plate had 2 home runs, drove in 6 RBIs. Skylar Cox went 4 for 4 with 2 runs driven in and 3 runs. And a 2-touchdown performance for the Jaguars as they are able to get past Plano East on the opening night of district play, at least for the Jags and the Panthers. Now the scene shifts here to home, and we're underway. There's first pitch in there for strike 1. Third baseman Michael Duranzik leading things off. Batting from the right side against Caleb Killian. Good-looking breaking ball there. That's a strike as well. Nothing in 2 the count. Killian, the 6'3", 170-pound junior, a verbal commit to Texas Tech. Comes into today with a 1-1 record, a 1.62 earned run average in his first 2 appearances this year. Off speed, back to the mound off of 1 high hop. Killian, nice throw over to first to Weimer. 1-3 ground out. First batter is retired. Duranzik heads back to the dugout. In 13 innings coming into tonight, Caleb has surrendered 11 base hits, 4 runs, only 3 of them earned, 6 walks against 13 strikeouts. No home runs, and opponents are hitting .262 off of the junior righty. Another right-handed matchup is Burloff Steps in the Boyd, second baseman. Takes the pitch low and outside for ball one. Michael Duranzik, a third baseman, let it off, grounded out back to the mound. Logan Burloff at the plate right now, the second baseman, batting second. Batting third is Will Hollis, the center fielder, and the only college commit or signee for this 6-1 Boyd team. He's headed to DBU. Grounded to the right side, 2 hops. Hill up with it, over to Weimer easily. Ground out 4-3. Quickly 2 outs.
Now back to the Broncos, center fielder, number 16, Will Hollis.
So Hollis will step in now, the center fielder. He'll dig in from the left side against the right-hander Killian. So that's the top third of the order. Duranzik, Burloff both retired now. Hollis at the plate. Takes ball one. Middle third of the order. Brandon Webb, the shortstop, will be batting fourth. Batting fifth, the first baseman, Grant Ressmeyer. And the left fielder, Jason Reitmeyer, batting sixth. As this one is hard hit, one hopper to Hill. Back-to-back 4-3 groundouts. Hit Killian and the Jags out of the first. No runs, hits. There is nobody left on base. Half inning in the books. Broncos nothing. Jaguars coming back for the first time after these messages. You're listening to and watching Champion Sports Radio and CSR TV.
Stay up on all the latest news about the teams you care about and know when your favorite games are on the air thanks to Champion Sports Radio social media. Either follow @Champion Sports on Twitter or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, and you will know what time your game starts, who was named Player of the Week, or what your school's alumni are doing in college. That's on Twitter @Champion Sports and facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio. Your home for championship social media.
In Command Broadcasting, a sports TV broadcasting and marketing company. In Command Broadcasting provides a wide array of turnkey video production and streaming services. In Command services include filming of sporting events, season highlights, school graduations, corporate infomercials, and documentaries. In Command streams your sporting event or company function over the internet live or on demand. Call 972-851-7888 to raise the energy of your next event. In Command Broadcasting, 972-851-7888.
Welcome back here to the Mound and Flower Mounds. We head to the bottom of the first. Scoreless top of the first for the Boyd Broncos. Now the Jags will come to bat. Due up 1, 2, and 3. Hill, Cox, and Weimer. We'll get to the full lineup here in just a second. Broncos are putting the right-hander Keaton Livingston on the mound tonight. They had a very impressive district opening win at home against Allen on Tuesday night. They beat them 9-1. A big 6-run third inning highlighting things. Grant Ressmeyer, who is playing first base today, was a starting pitcher. He threw a 2-hitter, allowing just 1 unearned run, and the Bouts pounded out 13 hits.
Number 2, Noah Hill.
But tonight it's Livingston. Face off against the Jaguars. Here's Hill taking the first pitch on the inside corner, not too far inside for ball one. Noah Hill, the second baseman, 5'9", 180-pound senior, signed to go play with BYU, or as I'm going to start calling it, Flower Mound West. 375 on the season, no homers, 5 RBIs on the year. And now in that leadoff spot, the very versatile Hill. Also a great catcher, but we'll probably see him mostly at second. As the fastball finds the inside corner for a strike. Hill leading things off, batting second, the left fielder Skylar Cox, the junior. In the 2-hole, batting third, Sean Weimer, senior first baseman. 2-1 chop to third. Tough play for Duranzik. Throw is pretty high, but Ressmeyer's tall. He's able to snag it out of the air. 5-3 ground out, and that'll be the first out here in the first inning. So Hill, Cox, and Weimer, the top third of the order. Middle third of the order, Jamison Hanna, the center fielder, batting fourth. Batting fifth, Casey Jacobson, the senior shortstop, and junior designated hitter Parker Scott will be batting sixth. Bottom third of the order, Sean Holhouse, the third baseman, batting seventh. Batting eighth, Nick Thornquist, the catcher. And Chad Paris, the right fielder, in the ninth spot. Livingston finds the outside corner there for strike one to Cox, 5'10", 175-pound junior. Oh, 1 swung on, fouled off down the third baseline. It's quickly 0-2. Cox 400 average on the season. Key Cog in the 2-hole for most of last season as a sophomore starter for the state champions. This is outside. 1-2 now the count. Jason Reitmeyer is the left fielder. Will Hollis in center. Bronson Hallbeck in right. Slight breeze blowing across the outfield from right to left as this one is popped up to shallow right center field. Second baseman back trying to make a play, and it bounces in front of him. So that'll be the first base hit of the ball game as Cox is aboard on first with one out. So we welcome in the man behind what you can see game in and game out, the Dr. Alex Sterling. Nothing better than being back here at the mound, is it?
Absolutely not. It's hard to believe it's been, around 9 months or so since I've last been here. So.
That playoff series, I still can't believe there was a home and home couple rounds deep in the playoffs, but there was one with the Carroll Dragons. That was the last time we were here. As the first pitch to Weimer is in there for a strike.
Like I say, it's going to be back, and I want to see how, similar to how Skylar Cox last year kind of burst onto the scene as a sophomore, what player this year will be that breakout player for the Jaguars?
If anybody didn't know about Sean Weimer before last night, I think he got their attention. 2 home runs. The first one was really well hit. The second one was no doubt about it. I think it's still actually in flight. Absolutely crushed the ball, both of them going to left field. Cox takes off on the hit and run. Pitch is foul back to the screen. Count 0-2 to Weimer. 409 average, 2 home runs, second on the team in RBIs now with 10. Trailing only Jamison Hanna, who has 11. Checking the runner at first is Livingston. Pitch to Weimer. Good eyes. That one really floated away and off the plate for the first ball of the at-bat. Around the infield, Michael Duranczyk is the third baseman. A couple steps behind the bag at the hot corner. Braden Webb is the shortstop at second. Logan Burloff. And Gret Ressmeyer doing his best to hold Cox over at first. Ground ball up the middle. Nice stab by the pitcher. Livingston can't complete the play to second as it goes through both the second baseman and the shortstop. So the E1, all hands are safe. Cox moves over to third, and Weimer's aboard at first. This is something, Doc, we saw in the playoffs over and over again. Any opportunity the Jaguars were extended, they pounced all over it.
No, absolutely not. I think some of that for the pitcher was because of Cox's speed, he felt he had to rush it a little bit quicker to try to get the double play, which led to the errant throw.
Jaguars' speed and aggressiveness always putting pressure on the opposition. So here's Jamison Hanna, the RBI leader. The team high 452 batting average as well. Takes first pitch, ball one. Big shoes to fill. Not only in the field for Juan Hanan, also at the plate. He's done a great job. First 11 ball games this year of doing precisely that. Step off to third. I don't think any team sees as many of those as the Jaguars because of how aggressive they are with the double steals and suicide squeezes and so forth. 1-0 to Hannah. Boy, got it. A little tardy as he goes foul down the third base line. That's strike one of the at-bat. Jameson headed to DBU, as is the center fielder for the Boyd Broncos, Will Hollis. Join Mr. Millard, who's there now as well. Former third baseman for the Jags. Throw over to first. It's a good move for Livingston, but Weimer yet to attempt a stolen base this season. Don't think he's got designs on swiping second right now with this great scoring opportunity the Jaguars currently have worked here in the bottom of the first inning. Another step off, fake throw. Seventh inning of baseball brought to you by Canes. Raising Canes on Main Street in Louisville and FM 407 in Flower Mound. Proud supporter of Jaguar baseball. Their one love is cook-to-order chicken fingers meals. This is a ground ball, hard hit to second. The shortstop for one, the relay to first in time. 4-6-3 double play. And that'll get the Broncos out of a jam in the first and leave goose eggs on the scoreboard. No runs, a hit, an error, one left, one inning in the books. Still scoreless between McKinney Boyd and Flower Mound. CSR TV's coverage of 6-6A baseball continues in a moment.
Writer Gerald Early said that when they study our civilization 2,000 years from now, there will only be three things that Americans will be known for: the Constitution, baseball, and jazz music. GDYO's Jazz Institute provides young musicians in North Texas the opportunity to learn what it means to be a jazz musician through weekly technique classes and combo rehearsals with professional jazz musicians. From the first note to the final round of applause, GDYO Jazz Institute concerts will amaze and delight both hardcore jazz cats and new fans alike. Learn more about the truly original American art form through the GDYO Jazz Institute. Online at gdyo.org/jazz.
Point of Origin Design is your one-stop shop for all your apparel, promotional, event, or team uniform needs. Point of Origin Design is a full-service design and logo creation company that offers a wide variety of imprintable and embroidered products. With competitive pricing and quality work, you can't go wrong with Point of Origin Design. It's always best to start at the right point, so visit them online at pointoforigindesign.com. Let them help you plan your next promotional item or design your next t-shirt. That's online at pointoforigindesign.com.
Head to the top of the second, still scoreless between McKinney Boyd and Flower Mound. Here from the mound in Flower Mound, along with the Dr. Alex Sterling, I'm Thomas Lee. Caleb Killian. 8 pitches thrown in the first inning, just 6 of them for strikes. Really efficient first. His first pitch is for a strike here. To the 4-hole hitting Braden Webb. Takes pitch outside. Now the count is even 1-1. It'll be Webb, Restmeyer, and Reitmeyer due up 4, 5, and 6 here in the second inning. From McKinney Boyd down the line, inside the bag. It's going to get to the outfield before Cox can cut it off. Webb's only going to take a single out of it. Get a little trouble getting out of the box. And Either way, leadoff man is aboard for the Boyd Broncos here in the second.
Just an excellent swing. Anticipated the pitch and just drove it past third.
Whole house playing a little far off the line to try to get to it, but just nice job, too, by Cox to cut it off so it didn't rattle around out there, limiting Webb to just a single. First hit for the Broncos today. So Grant Ressmeyer fouls first pitch back. Two-sport star for the Broncos. Webb with a healthy lead at first. Killing a throw over and forces Webb to dive back. So I was mentioning, Raising Cane's proud sponsor of Jaguar Baseball. Their one love is cooked-to-order chicken finger meals along with a unique Raising Cane secret sauce. And Jaguar Baseball wants to thank Cane's for their support. Ressmeyer fouls that one back, 0-2 the count. Don't like to play favorites with sponsors, but I think I can safely say the Champion Sports Radio favorite sponsor of Jaguar Baseball is Syracuse Sausage. The best sausage in Texas, and sold right here, home games, the Jaguar concession stand. So if you're coming out to a ball game, be sure to pick up your Syracuse sausage hot off the grill. Jags want to thank Syracuse Sausage for a 6-year partnership. I think they're reviving the tailgating before road games, although the man charged with bringing the sausage last night was a little tardy. Now, granted, there is no further spot to get than I think Plano East, except for maybe Allen. Allen may be a little further. Oh, Boyd, you can go up and over on 380. Grounded to short. No chance to double him up. Jacobson's going to go over to first. 6-3 ground out for Ressmeyer. That does advance Webb, who had a great jump on the swing. Will be the first out, but Broncos have a man in scoring position with one out here in the top of the second. Ressmeyer did everything he could with that one, but a lot of movement off of Killian's pitch. In fact, if he hit it better, probably would have ended up in a double play. Even with the jump that Webb got, it was just such a slow little nubber out to Jacobson at short. So they'll bring up Reitmeyer, the left fielder. One gone, runner on second, and a scoreless ball game. First pitch from Killian. Low and inside, ball one. Look back to Webb at second. Killian deals home. That one does not find the zone either. 2-0 the count. Skylar Cox is in left field. Jamison Hanna in center. Chad Paris in right. Catches the outside corner for strike one. The slightest of shifts over towards right for both Cox in left and Hanna in center. And, of course, offset so we can see the action at the plate, but maybe a little more than that. He's probably halfway between straightaway center and right center right now. As Thornquist will head out to the mound and have a conversation with Killian. Sean Holhouse even with the bag at third. Casey Jacobson at short. Noah Hill at second. So much experience turning double plays there for the Jaguars. Sean Weimer about 5 steps behind the bag over at first. 2-1 is swung on, fading foul, and going to hit high on the chain link fence to the side. Evens count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Killian with a long look, now has the sign. Wheels around to second. Jacobson covering as Webb has to scamper back very quickly. Two-two pitch from Killian. A lot of movement on that one. Reitmeyer gets a piece of it, chopping it foul. The count will remain 2 balls and 2 strikes. If you were with us last night, you watched and saw as the Jaguars jumped all over Plano East. 3 runs in the first, 6 in the second, 2 more in the third, 3 more in the fourth. En route to a 14-0 win. Killian catches Reitmeyer looking on the outside corner. First strikeout for Caleb. Big pitch right there, sweeping across the plate, nabbing that outside corner. And there are 2 gone here in the second after a leadoff single. And Webb has since been advanced to second, though. Killian locked it back in, has retired 2 straight. So now Nathan McKinney, the designated hitter, will step to the plate from the right side against the righty Killian. Blocked at the plate, but did not get away from the dirt cutout. Good job by Thornquist. That is ball 1. Mentioned in the open, Weimer, Lauer, and Wells combined to throw the 5-inning no-hitter. Count evens 1-1. Only 2 players that got on for Plano East. Both of them hit batters by Lauer, who was alternating strikeouts and hit batsmen for an inning. Back, nice snag by Killian. Soft underhand toss. 1-3 on the ground out, so the leadoff single is stranded at second. And in the second inning, no runs on a hit, no errors, 1 left, inning and a half in the books. And the Magoose Eggs here at the mound for the Jags and Broncos. You're watching CSR TV.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores! 2 points for team middle management.
The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
If you're a basketball parent or coach, you need StatGeek, the simplest way to keep stats ever created. Our easy-to-use iPad app turns anyone into a professional statistician, and all they have to do is simply follow the ball. Produce full and accurate box scores and play-by-play reports. Send accurate stats out to your fans, media, or recruiters. It's sports statistic collection redefined. StatGeek is available right now in the iPad App Store for just $4.99, and there are team fundraising opportunities available as well. On the web at statgeek.com. StatGeek, keep your eye on the ball.
We head to the bottom of the second inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error for McKinney Boyd. No runs, 1 hit, no errors on the Jaguars. Jags coming to bat 5, 6, and 7. Jacobson, Scott, and Holhouse 2 up here in the second against Livingston. Out to begin his second inning of work. Good breaking ball. Catches on the outside corner. Casey, 6 foot, 185-pound senior, headed to BYU. Shortstop with a .312 average on the season. Another off speed on the inside edge of the plate. 0-2. Casey's driven in 8 on the year. Perfect 3 of 3 in stolen base opportunities. Really drove a ball well on a triple last night against Plano East. Good eye taking that one outside. 1-2 now the count. Mentioned the great job the pitchers did last night. The hitters were on fire. 12 hits, along with a couple of errors resulting in 14 runs in 4 innings. Did not score in the 5th. Weimer had the 2 home runs, drove in 6. Skylar Cox 4 for 4 with 2 runs driven in, 3 runs scored. Up and down the lineup, just an impressive night at the plate. Great play by Matisic, gets the mask off and tracks down the foul ball. First out here in the home half of the second.
Stepping into the box for the Jaguars, designated hitter, number 9, Parker Scott.
Last night was so dominant, 8 of the 9 spots in the lineup scored a run. And the top 3 spots in the lineup drove in 9. Really gaudy numbers, as you would expect in a 14-0 win. Trying to get the outside corner for the left-handed swinging Scott. Comes up empty again. Now it's 2-0. Broncos had a great first ball game in district play offensively as well, as they had 13 hits against the Allen Eagles. Just ground balls off the end of the bat, too short. Throw over in time for Webb. And Scott is retired 6-3. 2 gone here now in the second. This half inning of baseball brought to you in part by Kohl's. You can expect great things from Kohl's and from the Kohl's Cares Community Volunteer Program. Kohl's, a proud 6-year sponsor of Flower Mound Jaguar baseball. An excellent choice, Sean Holhouse. Great walk-up music choice right there. One of my favorite Queen songs. First pitch to Holhouse, low and inside. Sean, 5'10", 170-pound senior, batting 192 on the year. Driven in a couple. Two-0 pitch to Holhouse. Got underneath that one. Foul back up and over our heads for strike 1. Talked about Russ Meyer being a great 2-sport star. He's their ace as well as tonight their first baseman. Russ Meyer threw a 2-hitter, allowing 1 unearned run. But it was the Broncos' 3rd inning. They threw up 6 runs to break open a scoreless tie. That one high and tight. Now a great hitter's count, 3-1 to Holhouse. Quite a few errors in the ballgame, though. 2 on the Eagles, 3 on the Broncos. But Boyd comes away with the victory, 9-1. Ressmeyer with the win. Cody Wernley taking the loss for Allen. Payoff pitch. Inside ball 4. First walk issued by Livingston. And a 2-out base runner. As Nick Thornquist will step to the plate. Holhouse has stolen a base this season in his only attempt. Thornquist had to duck out of that one. I think it would have hit him anyway, but pitch was definitely high off speed and will be ball 1. inside. Patience of the Jaguars showing here. Livingston had to throw 15 pitches in the first. This will be his 17th pitch here of the second inning, upcoming to Nick Thornquist. That one also inside, 3-0 now. The 5'8", 170-pound junior catcher, 250 average on the year. Automatic in there for a strike. Told you about the Boyd Allen game Tuesday night. Also Tuesday night, Hebron Hawks played at Plano Wildcats, and that is where Flower Mound will be Saturday afternoon. 12:55 at the start of our coverage. 1 o'clock first pitch. Thornquist fouls that one off down the third baseline. Plano hosted Hebron, and the Hawks were extremely patient as they scored 3 runs. 2 of them were unearned, thanks to 5 walks and only 2 hits off of Plano starter Mitchell Hansen. Hawks took a 1-0 lead in the first thanks to a pair of Plano errors. Added 2 more runs in the 6th. 1 on a bases-loaded walk by Alexander, 1 on an RBI single by Moore. Plano fought back with 2 in the bottom of the 6th, but could not get over the hump, and Hebron, I'd say a mild upset. Plano not at full strength with Cody Farhat still banged up from a football injury, but they played in the Region 2 finals last year against Atascocita. Hard hit ball foul down the third base line. And Thornquist will see at least another pitch. Talk about the district of death, and this Boyd team went a couple rounds deep in the playoffs. Hebron only eliminated by Marcus in the 3rd round. Marcus eliminated by Flower Mound in the regional championship. Just unbelievable the experience that came back, but in Flower Mound Jaguars were fighting. It's possible with the Atascocita landing that slot against the Jags to kick things off at the state tournament. That could have very well been the Wildcats. Good swing on this one. A nice stab by Duranzik. Long throw across, just beats out Thornquist. 5-3 on the ground now. That'll do it for the second. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left, 2 innings in the books. We're still scoreless between Flower Mound and McKinney Boyd. You're watching CSR TV and listening to Champion Sports Radio.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimates that nearly 4 million brain injuries occur every year due to sports in the U.S. They also estimate that 70% of concussions go unreported. Not identifying concussions early can be devastating, especially if the athlete continues to play with symptoms. Catching hard hits fast is critical, and that's why you need the Shockbox Helmet Impact Sensor. The Shockbox is a small sensor that easily attaches to most football, lacrosse, and hockey helmets and instantly sends a signal to a smartphone on the sidelines when the player has taken a hard hit that puts them at higher risk for injury. The free app receives data from the sensor, displays information about the impact, and even walks the user through a concussion assessment. The app also logs symptom and impact data for future medical use. Visit ShopboxDFW.com to learn more about the Shockbox Impact Alert Sensor and determine if it is the right option for your child. Be warned instantly when a player has experienced a head impact that could result in a concussion. Visit ShockboxDFW.com today. ShockboxDFW.com.
Head to the top of the third. Caleb Killian out to begin his third inning of work. Will face off against 8, 9, and 1 in the Bronco lineup. Matisic, Holbeck, and Duranzik. As the Broncos come to bat here in the third in a scoreless ball game between the Jaguars and the Boyd Broncos. Alongside the Dr. Alex Sterling, I'm Thomas Ling.
Catcher, number 15, Ross Matisic.
Matisic, like Trent Ressmeyer, football star as well for the Broncos. Takes the first pitch, strike one. The knee bend and the off-speed pitch downstairs, so the count is 1-1 to the Boyd catcher. Here's a 1-1 from Killian. High for a ball. 2-1 the count. That one's downstairs. 3-1 now the count. Home plate umpire tonight, Mark Anthony Edwards. And in the field is Justin Cooper. Cooper down the first base line right now. Just fouled off back to the screen. Count is full now. First time that Killian's had a 3-ball count on any batter. And he's about to throw his 6th pitch of the at-bat. That's more than he's thrown to anybody else the first 7 he's faced here tonight through 2 innings. Late swing, lifted to right field, but Paris was in pretty close. So we'll call it a line shot to right in the first out here, as Chad Paris was perfectly in position to make that catch. That's first out here in the third, so Holbeck now will step in, the right fielder.
Number 5, Bronson Holbeck.
Righty-righty matchup with Killian on the mound. First pitch is high. Killian has now thrown a first pitch strike to 4 of the first 9 batters he's faced. So the first time through the order. Late movement, then when he gets outside. 2-0 now the count. Third pitch thrown is the 21st strike. Count is now 2-1 to Holbeck. Only other ball game that we haven't talked about the first night of district action was Louisville at Marcus. That one's fouled off, 2-2 the count. Jack Cushing threw a no-hitter with 8 strikeouts and no walks. He hit a batter. Probably one of the more unique no-hitters I think I've ever seen. As the off-speed pitch catches, beautiful breaking ball there for Killian. Second strikeout that nabs that inside corner against the right-hand swinging Holbeck.
Back to the top of the lineup for the Broncos.
2 up, 2 down here in the third. The lineup will now reset.
Number 9.
Broncos will send the third baseman, Michael Duranzik, who grounded out right back to the mound to start off the ball game. So if you hadn't heard about this, so what happened was a batter with a really well-hit ball for Louisville just didn't hit first base. He just ran by it. And most of the time you see that, they'll come back and they'll touch the base and they'll keep running around. But whatever happened, he never hit first base. And so when they got the ball in, they threw over to first and he was out. So what would have been a one-hit shutout with an extra base hit. Turn into a no-hitter. Count even now 2-2 on Duranzik. Marcus, meanwhile, won the game 5-0 as they got 5 runs on 11 hits. Breaking ball in there, back-to-back strikeouts looking for Killian here in the third. And that'll do it for the top of the third. No runs, hits, errors, nobody left. 1-2-3 inning for Killian. We head to the home half of the third. Still looking for our first run of the game. 6-6-8 baseball between McKinney Boyd and Flower Mound continues in a moment on Champion Sports Radio.
Are you looking for a way to promote your business or increase exposure? Do you just need more people to know that you're there? Join the Champion Sports Radio team and advertise during these games. In the last 4 years, Champion Sports Radio has broadcast over 600 games to more than 3.5 million listeners. And Champion Sports Radio wants to help you use major high school sports to reach thousands of local fans right in your community. Think about it. Die-hard fans just like you tune in each and every week, giving your business unparalleled access to the community. It's the perfect way for smaller individually owned businesses to cultivate a core clientele or expand their already loyal customer base. To secure your prime commercial spot during the broadcast, contact Thomas Lee at Champion Sports Radio by phone at 972-741-0334. That's 972-741-0334 or online at championsportsradio.com. Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcast.
This inning brought to you in part by Rapid Med Urgent Care in Highland Village, a family-owned business delivering the best, most convenient medical care to friends and neighbors. Range of services include primary care to urgent care, immunizations, school and sports physicals, and so much more. Visit rapidmed.com for more information. As Chad Paris leads things off here in the bottom of the third inning. Trying to bunt his way on, use that tremendous speed of his for the 5'11", 155-pound senior. Signed to go play at Howard College. Great history of success from Flower Mound to Howard. Including a couple of guys that helped Howard win a national championship a few years ago. That pitch comes in and hits Paris on the arm. Fourth base runner of the night for the Jaguars, first time through the order. Now the lineup will reset. Noah Hill steps to the plate.
Back to the top of the lineup for the Jaguars. Brings to the plate second baseman, number 2, Noah Hill.
Late direction from Danny Wallace in the third base box as Hill digs in from the right side. Such a good bunter. Well, he's hitting 375 on the year. Hard to take the bat out of his hands, but would not be surprised to see him square up and knock it down and move Paris over. As arguably the fastest Jaguars on first with nobody out. Last night, Flower Mound did not have to play small ball at all. But this, of course, may be what the Jaguars do better than any other team in the state. Manufacture runs. Hill squares. Throw over to first. Long look by Livingston. Now he comes set. But is foul. Back to the screen. Strike one of the at-bat. As I mentioned, Hill, 375 average. He's driven in 5. has worked a team-leading 9 walks on the year. Tie for the team lead in runs scored with 10. What you would expect from your leadoff hitter. Get on base, set the table, and let your teammates drive you home. Paris takes off. The throw is not in time. Bang, bang play at second. But the throw from Matisic can't quite catch up to the speed of Paris, who swipes his 9th base in 11 attempts this season. And that'll bring out Boyd head coach Brooke Court to have a conversation with our home plate umpire, Mark Anthony Edwards. It was a close play at second. Hill was like a statue in the box, so I'm not entirely sure what the conversation was about, but he's now going to signal to his corner infielders to move in a couple of steps. 0-2 count on Hill, though, with nobody out. And Paris on second. Jaguars looking to draw first blood here tonight. Late defensive swing to get a piece of it and stay alive at the plate by Hill. Corner infielders even with the bag. As Hill has a conversation with Danny Wallace, third-year head coach here with the Jags. 461st coaching victory coming last night at Plano East against 223 defeats. Stops at Georgetown and Pflugerville, Conley, Hutto. Trip to Round Rock last year was his second to the state tournament, as he took the Hutto Hippos back in the day. Grounder, soft grounder back up. Only play was for Livingston to go to first. That advances Paris over to third, and that is what we call a productive out. The 1-3 ground out. In the at-bat, though, Paris moved from first all the way over to third base. So if only one out here in the third inning, Cox will step up with an opportunity to drive home the first run of the ball game without the benefit of a base hit. This afternoon, Jaguar Baseball brought to you in part by Point of Origin Design, your one-stop shop for apparel, promotional, event, or team uniform needs. They offer a wide variety of imprintable and embroidered products with competitive pricing and quality work. You can't go wrong with Point of Origin Design. Visit pointoforigindesign.com for more information. Good swing by Cox. Boy, he lifted this deep to left field. Catch made by Reitmeyer. The throw is coming home. It's offline. Wouldn't have gotten him anyway. That's an RBI sacrifice fly for Cox. Driving home. Paris and the Jaguars take a 1-0 lead here in the third.
Like you're saying, Thomas, excellent job there by Cox. Just making contact, get it deep enough in the outfield to give Paris enough to score. But like you said, they weren't going to stop him anyways. Just a little too quick for him.
Great throw by Jason Reitmeyer, though, because normally that's not even, he's sliding across home plate before the ball's even in the infield, and yet he came up rifling that thing home. If it had been on line, it might have been a chance for a play. I still think Paris would have beaten it out, though. So Weimer steps in, takes first pitch, strike one. Sean reached on an error back in the first inning. Chop foul over towards the Jaguar dugout on the third base side, and that will be the second strike of the at-bat. But It's something to watch, though. Reitmeyer coming up, throwing hard like that. It's as aggressive as Coach Wallace is at the third base box. Might think twice if it's anybody but Paris over there, or maybe Jamison Hanna. Weimer can't catch up to that one. It's a 3-pitch strikeout. First strikeout for Livingston. That'll do it for the Jags in the third, not before they get the first run of the ball game without the benefit of a base hit. There were no errors and nobody left. 3 full in the books. Your score, Jags 1, Broncos nothing. High school baseball continues in a moment on Champion Sports Radio and CSR TV.
Many heart conditions can be fixed, but many of us don't know we have a problem until it's too late. On April 2nd, 2009, Zachary Schraw, a 16-year-old sophomore offensive lineman, died of sudden cardiac arrest, the #1 cause of death among student athletes. Like so many SCA victims, Zach had no heart issues, nor did anyone in his family. If Zach had an echocardiogram, he might have been able to avoid suffering a condition that takes 10,000 of our youth each year. In his memory, Living for Zachary was formed to try and prevent SCA from taking the lives of youth everywhere. Join in the fight today and stop the silent killer of SCA by scheduling your young athlete for an echocardiogram, a procedure that can detect any heart issue with 99% accuracy. For more information, visit www.livingforzachary.org. That's living4zachary.org, and let your heart be heard.
Head to the top of the 4th inning, 1-0 your score. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error for McKinney Boyd. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors for the Jaguars. Alongside Alex Sterling, I'm Thomas Lee. First pitch swung on and hit to left center field. Ranging back is Cox. He's under it. Makes a catch. Good swing by Logan Burloff, second baseman, but the fly ball to left, the first out here in the 4th. Really an interesting inning there in the 3rd for Keaton Livingston, the starting pitcher for the Broncos. He threw 10 pitches. 9 of them were strikes. The one that wasn't was the pitch that hit Paris that led to the run coming home. Shows again how all the numbers may stack up, the percentages, you play all those odds and everything. I mean, 90% of his pitches in that inning, in the zone, right where you want it, attacking. And that's what Coach Court told me before the ball game when I was talking to him about Livingston, about, when he's going well, what's he doing? It's like, there's nothing special. He's good when he gets out there and throws strikes. That's what he did last inning, but yet still the run comes across. That just shows the ability of the Jaguars to manufacture runs.
Yeah, all it takes is one mistake. And like we were talking about for Paris, takes the walk, all of a sudden he's at third off Noah, even with a ground out to the pitcher. Like, just one mistake leads to a run.
On the outside corner, Killian paints it. As Will Hollis steps in. Grounded out to Hill at second back in the 1st inning. Future Patriot. A 1-1 count. Staff inning brought to you in part by Quick Car Full Service Auto Repair and Car Wash. Visit Quick Car at FM 2499 and FM 3040 for all your repair, service, car wash, and detail needs. Quick Car, proud 4-year sponsor of Jaguar Baseball. This one is fouled down the first base line. I'm going to have to come up early one day. All the snow, rain. My car is filthy right now. Just got to make plans, get a little early. 7:30 starts this year, so built in a little time for me to get a car wash on my way to the ballpark. Just gets a piece of it. Stay alive at the plate. 1-2 the count here to Hollis.
Something Killian's doing really well that I've noticed here as we're watching, he doesn't commit to just one pitch. He likes to mix it up. There's several different pitches, and it doesn't necessarily one strikeout pitch. He sets it up with different pitches and just goes by the situation.
Nice. To your point, Hollis off balance on that one. That is the 4th strikeout for Killian. And 2 gone here in the 4th. 8 in a row retired by Caleb.
Now batting shortstop, number 13, Braden Webb.
That powerful fastball kind of sets everything else up. He can locate that, and he's really driving with his lower body. Sneak into the lower 90s. And then, of course, the breaking pitches to offset that. A true pitcher, not just a thrower out there. He gets that one past Webb. 1-1 the count. Webb, the only base runner for the Broncos tonight, and the only one with the base hit. He had a single to lead off the second. Takes that one high, 2-1 the count. Went and golfed that one. This is fading foul, and Holthouse can't quite get there. Gave great chase, but it's going to be strike 2 of the at-bat. And the count even 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs here. With the Broncos batting in the top of the 4th. Off speed, hammered down the third base line, but foul. Holthouse, though, in position, ready to make the play. For our home plate umpire, Mark Anthony Edwards. Called it off. 2-2 again. Another one fought off at the plate. So we brought you up to speed in the 4 district ball games. It kicked off play, 3 of them Tuesday, 1 of them last night. Plato West had a bye. It's one of the other strange things about this 9-team district. Somebody is always off every night. Big strikeout swinging there. Webb punched out. That's the 5th K for Killian. He's now retired 9 straight. And 12 of 13 batters he's faced in the ball game. No runs, hits, errors, nobody left here in the 4th. Head to the home half of the 4th inning with the Jaguars ahead 1-0. You're watching CSR TV and listening to Champion Sports Radio. Are you tired of only spending time as a family huddled around the TV? Would you like to enjoy some culture with your loved ones without breaking the bank? Then let me introduce you to the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra. The GDYO provides music education and performance opportunities for musically talented youth, but this is no kids' concert. The GDYO comprises 7 different ensembles made up of over 425 talented musicians ages 8 to 18, representing more than 50 communities in North Texas. You won't believe how amazing these ensembles sound until you hear it for yourself. So join them for one of their concerts at the Meyerson Symphony Center or Dallas City Performance Hall. For more information on how to make a donation, as well as a listing of upcoming GDYO concerts, visit gdyo.org. And if you know a talented young musician interested in an unbelievable experience, auditions take place in the spring. Connect with the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and at gdyo.org. Mound 1, McKinney Boyd nothing. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Jags will send out 4, 5, and 6 spots in the lineup. Hannah, Jacobson, Scott due up to face off against Keaton Livingston. Only had 1 hit, walked a batter, hit a batter. Finds himself losing end of a 1-0 ball game right now. First pitch in there for a strike to Hannah. Jameson grounded a double play in the first. Oh, 1 pitch, just foul. Probably less than a foot for Hannah as he really turned on that one. As I mentioned earlier, came in with a .452 average, has driven in 11. Livingston with a long look in. Finally gets a sign from Matisic. And before he can get into the windup, and it calls a timeout. Drives this one to left center field. Reitmeyer stopped where he was going, had to retreat back, and is able to make the catch. Decently hit ball to left, but Jason Reitmeyer is there for the first out here in the fourth. This half inning of Jaguar baseball brought to you in part by Heaven's Best Carpet Cleaning, a worldwide leader in carpet and upholstery cleaning, with services including rug cleaning, leather cleaning, tile and grout, and hardwood floor cleaning. Heaven's Best dry in 1 hour process has exceptional results for carpets that are dry in just 1 hour. As Jacobson smacks this one back up through the box for a 1-out single here in the fourth. Second hit given up by Livingston. Heaven's Best. Visit them on the web, heavensbest.com, for more information.
Now batting for Flower Mound, designated hitter, number 9, Parker Scott.
So here comes Parker Scott. Junior's got some D1 offers. More about his pitching prowess than what he can do at the plate for the junior. And this one gets away from Matisic. Jacobson, the big turn at second, is going to slow up there. But he advances the station. Ball one to Scott as it bounces in. So Scott with a base hit here might get his first RBI of the season. Matisic with some signs to the Bronco defense. And now Scott digs back in, is ready to go. Right-hander on the mound in Livingston, left-handed swinging Parker Scott. That one also between the wickets. Gets away from Matisic. He couldn't find it for a minute. Jacobson over now to third. So the well-hit ball back up the middle by Jacobson. And now back-to-back pass balls by Ross Matisic puts a runner at third with 1 out. And Scott with a great hitter's count at 2-0. And that's going to draw some words of encouragement from Danny Wallace in the third base box. This is an opportunity. Just got to put that ball in play, get that run home.
Well, similar to what happened when they scored in the third inning, you can't have mental mistakes like this that allows runners to move around and just basically take each station and make it easier for Flower Mound to score.
I had so many people ask me what the playoff run was like for me last year. I mean, I think the best part about it was for 5 weeks in a row, we saw the best high school baseball has to offer week in and week out. Those are some of the best games I think I've called in my life. So pitch is downstairs, 3-0 the count. Think about the tremendously competitive series with LD Bell off the front, right out of the gate. Of course, that unbelievable series with the Carroll Dragons. Literally, for 3 days, every pitch, you felt the entire series was hanging in the balance. It was unbelievable. One team would roar out ahead, like when the Jaguars got to Kyle Johnson for, I think, the only runs he allowed the entire playoffs, and heck, maybe even since the start of district play. Jaguars fought back, took that game 1. As Scott fouls this off down the first base line. And then in the third game, when the Dragons came from behind to take the lead in the 7th, only to have the Jaguars come back and win it in the bottom of the 7th at DBU. We were blessed. And one of the things I think about that is I don't remember mistakes almost at all for either team throughout that entire run. Payoff pitch. Good swing to right center field. This one's getting over the head of the second baseman. If he's playing in his normal position, he probably catches that with the infield in, though. Scott lifts it up and over Burloff, driving in Jacobson. Parker Scott's first RBI of the year on the RBI single, and that makes it 2-0 Flower Mound here in the home half of the fourth.
It just shows you, because of the style Flower Mound likes to play, like you're saying, the second baseman out of position, if they don't have that suicide squeeze, bunt, move people around mentality, they would play just a normal setup, defensive setup, and not have that opportunity.
It's that extra pressure that you're talking about that it puts on the opposition. That may be, as much of anything, a reason for some of the unforced errors that happen. This one off the end of the glove for Madison, gets back to the backstop, and Scott, in a blink, is in scoring position on second.
And Thomas, going back to that playoff run, we were talking about the Carroll series, and that was great, but I think the one thing that really set it apart for where I knew something could be special last year was the mental hurdle over Bell. That having lost in the first round the year before, they had such a great team that year. Just to lose in the first round, expectations were a lot higher, and to be able to get over that initial hurdle that brought a lot of confidence out of the team. Not that they weren't a confident bunch to begin with, but I think it just made it even a higher level of confidence that, hey, this is not the same thing that happened last year, and we can do great things.
Now downstairs to Holhouse, who's now ahead in the count 2-0. It's like we said, the Jaguars got exactly what they want last year. They wanted another shot at the Bell Blue Raiders. They got it, and it was just as hard fought a series. And Flower Mound had their hands full, but were able to make a couple of key plays to get that win. A little shuffle by Holhouse back to not get hit with the pitch. 3-0 now the count.
I think the other special moment was a series Flower Mound pretty much had control of was the South Grand Prairie series where Kyle Johnston throws the perfect game. Like, I've never seen somebody just dominate people like that over the course of a game. It looked effortless. I think the closest I'd seen to something like that since I've seen Flower Mound games, I think Jack Moffitt threw like a no-hitter at a playoff game at one point. That reminded me of that, something that he was just so good and so on that nobody could touch him.
Look back to second, checking Scott. Ground ball right side of the infield, scooped up by Burloff, and the throw over to first in time. 4-3 on the ground out. It does move Scott over to third, but there are now 2 outs here in the 4th inning.
Now batting for the Jaguars, the catcher, number 4.
So I'll bring up Nick Thornquist. As the Jags look to tack on an insurance run. Scott's on third, 2 gone here in the 4th. 1 run already across as Flower Mound leads 2-0. Thornquist had a great at-bat in the second. 7-pitch effort. And the first pitch sweeps across the plate. Catches for strike 1.
And something that's interesting for the Jags, I know we compare a lot to last year, and obviously that was a special season, but what makes Flower Mound set apart from other teams is that the bottom part of the lineup can still drive in runs. The balance top to bottom for these teams is evident, where you'll see guys 7, 8, 9 driving in runs versus where a lot of teams are really heavily dependent on their top 3 guys.
Yeah, most high school baseball teams, 5, maybe 6 if it's a really talented team, but the Jags have always been able to produce 1 through 9, and that definitely separates them. And the other thing, obviously, is the embarrassment of riches on the mound. It's been that way for 10 years that I've been calling Jaguar baseball, and this year, you heard in my post-game interview last night with Danny Wallace, he's like, we lost 3 of the best pitchers in the country, and yet we just reload, and they've got a team ERA under 1.5. On the inside corner for a strike. A team ERA of 1.31 on the season. Opponents are hitting .205 off of Jaguar pitching here in 2015. And that's after losing Jordan, Myers, and Johnston, who, by the way, are all going to be in Austin this weekend. Slow roller to the right side. This is going to be tough play. Nice one by Logan Burloff. 4-3 ground out saves a run, but the Jaguars do post one run in the inning off of a pair of base hits. No errors, one left, 4 full in the books, 2-0 Flower Mound on top of the Boyd Broncos. Back after these messages on Champion Sports Radio and CSR TV.
Stay up on all the latest news about the teams you care about and know when your favorite games are on the air thanks to Champion Sports Radio social media. Either follow @Champion Sports on Twitter or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, and you will know what time your game starts, who was named Player of the Week, or what your school's alumni are doing in college. That's on Twitter @Champion Sports and facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio. Your home for championship social media.
In Command Broadcasting, a sports TV broadcasting and marketing company. In Command Broadcasting provides a wide array of turnkey video production and streaming services. In Command services include filming of sporting events, season highlights, school graduations, corporate infomercials, and documentaries. In Command streams your sporting event or company function over the internet live or on demand. Call 972-851-7888 to raise the energy of your next event. In Command Broadcasting, 972-851-7888.
Take me out to the ball game.
We go to the 5th inning. Jags with a 2-0 lead. Broncos, no runs, 1 hit, 1 error. Flower Mound, 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors for the Jags. Here in the 5th, to face off against Killian, it'll be 5, 6, and 7. Ressmeyer, Reitmeyer, and McKinney. Along with Alex Erling, I'm Thomas Lee. Thanks for spending part of your Thursday night with us here on Champion Sports Radio and CSR TV. First pitch in there for a strike. It's 8 first pitch strikes now in 14 batters faced for Killian. This one fouled off. 1-2 the count. 56 pitches thrown for Killian thus far. He's got 38 of them across for strikes. And Ressmeyer stays alive. Great breaking ball there. Cannot catch the corner, according to our home plate umpire. Two and two the count. Ken fought off. And Ressmeyer retired on 4 pitches in the second and a ground ball to Jacobson at short. About to get his 7th pitch here. Leading off for the Broncos in the 5th. Good eye on that one. Count runs full. Ground ball right side of the infield. Scooped up by Weimer. He's going to toss it over to Killian. 3-1, and good job fielding his position by both. Weimer at first and Killian on the mound. Tough at-bat there for Ressmeyer, but he is retired 3-1. They've gone to the top of the 5th, and Allen, as the Wildcats are in town and threatening in the top of the 5th, already ahead 3-2. They've got the bases loaded with 1 out. As Reitmeyer takes strike 1. course, the Wildcats will be the opponent for the Jaguars on Saturday. 12:55 pregame show, 1 o'clock first pitch on the campus of Plano Senior High School. Plano today has pounded out 6 hits, scored 3 runs, also had 3 walks, only struck out 1. So Plano up 3-2 top of the 5th at Allen right now. They check his swing. Catcher dropped the ball, so they have to throw down to complete the strikeout. Swinging strikeout, 2-3 on the putout. That's 2 outs here now in the 5th. And Killian has retired 11 in a row. As Nathan McKinney, the designated hitter, will step up. Misses a spot there. 1-0 the count. That one finds a home in the zone. Versatility showing off here for Killian. This half inning brought to you in part by AOS Engineering, a commercial, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing engineering firm based in Plano. They are registered in multiple states and provide engineering services for multiple types of projects. Visit aos-engineering.com to see how they can help you on your next project. 2-1 fouls it off. Umpire's mask. Make sure everybody's okay at the plate. Tonight, the off team is Louisville. Hebron and Marcus are tied at 1 at Hawks Field. That game in the bottom of the 5th inning. Nichols has only allowed 1 hit thus far. Has walked 3. Another 1-2-3 inning for Killian here in the 5th. No runs, hits, errors. Nobody left the board. 12 in a row retired by Killian. That'll do it for the Broncos in the 5th. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Flower Mound with a 2-0 lead. Come back after these messages on CSR TV.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores! 2 points for team middle management.
The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
If you're a basketball parent or coach, you need StatGeek, the simplest way to keep stats ever created. Our easy-to-use iPad app turns anyone into a professional statistician, and all they have to do is simply follow the ball. Produce full and accurate box scores and play-by-play reports. Send accurate stats out to your fans, media, or recruiters. It's sports statistic collection redefined. StatGeek is available right now in the iPad App Store for just $4.99, and there are team fundraising opportunities available as well. On the web at statgeek.com. StatGeek, keep your eye on the ball.
Start the bottom of the 5th inning. And Chad Paris using that speed to get aboard.
Now batting back to the top of the lineup for the Jaguars.
Puts the ball into play, and just like in the third inning, is on board to lead things off here for the Jags. Flower Mound leads it 2-0. Appearance with little attention here from Livingston. After a leadoff single, third hit of the ball game. Check that fourth hit of the ball game. Off of Livingston for the Flower Mound Jaguars. Hill squares the bunt. Gets it down in front of the mound. Only one place to go is to first. Good execution by Livingston. Even better, though, by the Jaguars in Hill. As a sack bunt. 1-3 advances Paris over into scoring position.
Left fielder number 3.
And, Doctor, to the point that we were talking about an inning or two ago about, you know, most teams would never take the bat out of their leadoff hitter's hands, but that's just part of the team culture and environment that has always been prevalent here at Flower Mound. No matter who you are, what your stats are, you need to be able to bunt. You need to be able to help produce runs. And right there is a great example.
It helps in regards to, at least for Noah Hill, he's so good at it. We saw a lot of that last year with some suicide squeeze that drove in runs to win games. That I'd let him do it every time if it means moving a guy. I know he's got a great bat, but if you got enough guys that can hit, if that gets a guy to second base and you score a run off it, easy decision for Coach Wallace.
And again, puts pressure on the opposition. You're thinking, okay, here's the lead-up guy. We've got to make sure that we're getting good pitches. We need to get ahead of him and so forth. And all of a sudden he drops down that bunt. You're like, wait, whoa. You sit there, okay, is he going to bunt? Is he going to swing away? Is he going to try to do a straight steal? He's just taking it to play. There are so many potential outcomes and factors. And makes things tough on the opposition, just like Danny Wallace wants to. Wildcats did plate a couple more runs in the top of the fifth. Nayla lead 5-2 over Allen as they head to the bottom half of the inning. Paris just back in time at second. Plano West, meanwhile, has already won. That's right, their game is over. Five-inning Mercy Rule shortened game, 10-0. The final as West defeats East. And evidently, Cox was hit by the pitch. It's funny, he turned away from it trying to let it go by, and looking at the umpire, and I think I saw in Skyler's eyes, he's like, I don't know, I want to hit. I got a guy in scoring position. I got the green light. It's OT. All right, okay, all right, I'll take my base. That's fine. Worked out last night is Weimer with a first-inning home run that drove in both Hill and Cox.
Yeah, that was going to be my comment. Like, I'd take the walk with Mr. Weimer coming behind me with the way he's tearing the cover off the ball lately.
First baseman number 25, John Weimer.
I'll bring up Weimer. He's officially 0 for 2, did reach base in the first, struck out in the third. And the first reached on an error by pitcher Livingston as he tried to go to second to retire the lead runner Cox. An off speed in there for strike one. Mentioned Plano West beat East tonight 10-0 in 5 innings. Plano East still looking for their first hit of district play, as they were no hit tonight by Betts.
It just shows you how great the pitching is in this district. We thought this district was tough last year. That every night you're going to have somebody that's going to go up there that's a frontline guy.
Hard hit ball to third, tries to tag the runner, and does. Paris doing everything he can to try to get out of the way, but just a really athletic play by Duranzik at third. And Weimer reaches on the fielder's choice, 5 unassisted.
Yeah, not much he could do there because that ball was hit so hard that he didn't really have time to react. Great play by the third baseman just to get the ball. And given where he caught it in relation to the base, kind of just basically was right in front of Chad, so it's kind of hard to really make a move.
We played 5 games in this district this year, so 5 completed games. 3 of them have been no-hitters. One by Cushing against Louisville on Tuesday night. Team effort for Flower Mound last night against Plano East, and then Betts tonight for West against East as well. Jameson Hanna steps in. 2 on, 2 out. Takes it outside. The count is now 2-0.
And Thomas, that's kind of amazing considering that, like for Plano, they lost Tuesday with Mitchell Hansen, who is a Team USA player.
Right.
I mean, like, you know, it just shows you got to bring it every time, even when you have the best players. It's still a team effort to get the job done.
Good swing here. Base hit to left field. Stop sign is up late. And another great throw by Reitmeyer. Good decision by Danny Wallace at third. Holding up Cox, and a great hit, though, by Hanna. Going the other way and taking it where it was offered from Livingston to load the bases here in the 5th.
I think how we were talking about earlier, the throw earlier got Coach Wallace's attention. I think he immediately, his eyes lit up going, nope, not this time. We'll just keep going.
I was watching his arm to see if it was going to be the go sign or not, and he didn't make a move until Reitmeyer fielded it cleanly and then came up, and it launched out like it was shot out of a cannon. That's when he threw up both hands and told Skyler to stay put at third. So the base is loaded now for Casey Jacobson. Off speed, takes on the outside corner, strike 1. Jacobson with a solid single up the box, came around to score the second run of the ball game for the Jags last inning. Flower Mound leading 2-0 here with 2 outs in the home half of the 5th. Bases juice full of Jags. Inside, and that has been a strike all night. It's a strike here to Jacobson's dismay. Home plate umpires really giving some space on the inside part of the plate.
Killian's lived there the whole night. Like, that's the umpires give him that spot, so that's where he's going for the Jags. So no surprise, that's where Boyd's pitcher's going as well.
You can see as Casey steps in, his toes are right on the line, the inside part of that right-handed batter's box. 0-2, chopper to third, going to second for the force and gets a nice play by Duranzik, throwing to Burloff. Fielder's choice, 5-4, and that'll do it for the 5th. No runs off of a pair of base hits. No errors, and the Jags leave them loaded. 5-4 in the books. Flower Mound 2, Boyd nothing. Back after these messages, more high school baseball. Champion Sports Radio and CSR TV.
Writer Gerald Early said that when they study our civilization 2,000 years from now, there will only be 3 things that Americans will be known for: the Constitution, baseball, and jazz music. GDYO's Jazz Institute provides young musicians in North Texas the opportunity to learn what it means to be a jazz musician through weekly technique classes and combo rehearsals with professional jazz musicians. From the first note to the final round of applause, GDYO Jazz Institute concerts will amaze and delight both hardcore jazz cats and new fans alike. Learn more about the truly original American art form through the GDYO Jazz Institute online at gdyo.org/jazz.
Point of Origin Design is your one-stop shop for all your apparel, promotional, event, or team uniform needs. Point of Origin Design is a full-service design and logo creation company that offers a wide variety of imprintable and embroidered products. With competitive pricing and quality work, you can't go wrong with Point of Origin Design. It's always best to start at the right point, so visit them online at pointoforigindesign.com. Let them help you plan your next promotional item or design your next t-shirt. That's online at pointoforigindesign.com.
We head to the top of the 6th inning. The Broncos will send up the 8, 9, and 1 spots in the lineup. Matisic, Holbeck, and Duranzik. 8, 9, and 1 to face off against Killian. Jaguars leading at 2-0. First pitch from Killian in there for strike one to Raj Matisic. Ten first pitch strikes to 17 batters faced. Count now 1-1. So excited to be back here at the mound. There's that inside strike again. Such a fantastic environment for baseball. No matter, maybe a tad chilly for most folks tonight. I think it feels great. The pitch misses outside. Matisic with a 2-2 count here from Killian. Looking at that one the whole way. Didn't get the call. Hit Killian. The count runs full. Swings through that one. There's a strikeout. 7 strikeouts in the game now for Killian. Yeah, Matisic, who was a standout senior linebacker for the Broncos, heads back to the dugout, the first out here in the 6th. This is Holbeck. Takes first pitch for a strike. Bronson Holbeck, the right fielder. That high compact knee lift to get the momentum going. Killian's on a roll now. That one fouled off as Holbeck stays alive. Tries to check his swing. And evidently holds back. Count will be a ball and 2 strikes. Skylar Cox is in left field. Jamison Hanna in center. Chad Paris over in right. Maybe a few steps towards right field for the outfield. Beautiful breaking ball. Another strikeout. This one looking for Killian. 14 in a row now retired by Caleb, including 4 strikeouts in a row. And 8 out of the last 10 batters retired via a strikeout by the junior Killian. Lineup will now reset, and Duranzik steps in. Again catches the outside corner for strike one. Bounces in and gets away. 1-1 to count here to Michael Duranzik, the third baseman, in the leadoff spot. 7th inning Jaguar baseball brought to you in part by Corner Bakery Cafe, which features innovative seasonal menu options while delivering a premier bakery cafe experience in the heart of neighborhoods everywhere. For more information, visit cornerbakerycafe.com. Nails the outside corner, count even 2-2. Check in some district scores here in just a moment. Get you updated on what's been going on. 2-2 is swung on and popped up to shallow right field, and Paris is under and makes a catch. Nice job by Killian getting behind in the count, then working his way back in. It's 2-0 now. So we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. In the top of the 6th, no runs, hits, errors, nobody left on base. 15 in a row now retired by Killian. He's won over the minimum through 6 innings pitch. Home half at the 6th after these messages on CSR TV and Champion Sports Radio.
Do you need a boost in exposure? Want to reach local, community-minded folks with information about your business? Join the Champion Sports Radio team and advertise during these games. In the last 4 years, Champion Sports Radio has broadcast over 600 games for more than 3.5 million listeners. And Champion Sports Radio wants to help you use major high school sports to reach thousands of local fans right in your community. It's also a way for your business to give back to the community by helping all these well-deserving student-athletes get some recognition for their accomplishments. The cost simply can't be beat for the effect it will have. You get a lot of bang for your buck, and best of all, it provides an opportunity for the best advertisement of all, word of mouth. To secure your prime commercial spot during the broadcast, contact Thomas Lee at Champion Sports Radio by phone at 972-741-0334. That's 972-741-0334, or online at championsportsradio.com. Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcast.
Head to the home half of the 6th inning. Flower Mound 2, Boyd nothing. 2 up here in this half inning. Starting off with D.H. Parker Scott in the 6th spot, 7-hole house in the 7-hole, and Nick Thornquist, the catcher, batting 8th. Lovely sent out there to begin his 6th full inning of work. First pitch is ball 1 to Scott, who's 1 for 2 and an RBI single in the 4th. Driving in Jacobson on 3rd. Piece of that one to foul it off. 1-1 now the count. 7th inning of Jaguar Baseball brought to you in part by Anamias, a proud sponsor of the Jags. Treat yourself to more than 50 menu choices from the classic to the creative Mexican dish. Anamias is the best Mexican restaurant in Flower Mound and a top Dallas caterer. Everybody goes home happy after eating at Anamias. Piece to foul that one off. Scott now down in the count, 1-2. Mentioned that Plano West beat Plano East 10-0 in 5 innings already. Marcus and Hebron are tied at 1 apiece in the bottom of the 6th. And Plano jumped out on Allen. Eagles coming back in it now. It's 5-4, bottom of the 4th at Eagle Field. Trying to paint that outside corner. And that's ball. 2-2 the count. Plano and Allen will both be in action on Champion Sports Radio and CSR TV Saturday afternoon. Allen Eagles will be at the Marcus Marauders, and Flower Mound playing at Plano, 12:55, pregame 1 o'clock first pitch. Ooh, tough pitch to take right there by Scott. Left the bat on his shoulder, and the count is full. Defensive swing there. Scott stays alive, fouling it off. Still 3-2. He worked a full count against Livingston back in the 4th. Fourth Jaguar to take it to a full count. 5th to a 3-ball count on Keaton Livingston. Solid single right up the middle. Good swing by Scott. Leadoff single here in the bottom of the 6th for the Jags. Parker now 2 for 3 tonight.
Just a rocket there by Parker. Zoned in, 3-2 pitch. Anything close, you got to go swing at it. And Did a nice solid hit right up the middle there, get a base hit.
Keeping you up on that Plano-Allen game, I don't think anybody would have come into the season saying that one of those two teams is going to start out 0-2 in district play. I mean, just as they both feature All-American players. Obviously, you mentioned Mitchell Hansen earlier for the Wildcats. I don't think we would see him on Saturday since he pitched Tuesday, but it's a possibility. And, of course, for Allen, the only young man I can think of that has been All-American in high school in 2 sports, Kyler Murray. Little delay move there for the pinch runner, Trevor Jureka. And his whole house was not able to make contact at the plate. Just slides in. The ball gets away from the man covering the bag. So Jureka now on second. And a 1-0 count to whole house at the plate.
And Thomas, you mentioned Kyler Murray. As great a football player he is, he may be a better baseball player. It's hard to fathom something like that, somebody that's so good at one sport to be even better at another one. Somebody that could be a potential first, second-round pick in the baseball draft this coming spring.
That was a nice defensive play where the shortstop broke hard at third. Third baseman broke in thinking they were expecting a bunt. Second baseman, Burloff, covering the bag with all that motion, trying to catch the runner, in this case, Jureka, off balance. Trevor with the heads-up play dove back in, and a great move by Livingston to Burloff covering the bag just ahead of the throw. There's a bunt. Oh, perfectly on the first base side. The throw over. He is in time to retire whole house, but a beautiful sack bunt. 3-4 on the ground out. Advances Jureka from second to third as the Jags try to plate another insurance run here in the bottom of the 6th.
Number 4, Nick Thornquist.
Broadcast the UIL Region 1 6A tournament in Fort Worth, and the Allen Eagles played Plano West for the Region 1 championship tournament, who was going to go to San Antonio to the state tournament 6A. And I was joking with the basketball coach at Allen, whose name, ironically enough, Coach McCullough. There are 2 football coaches in the district named Coach McCullough, no relation. When I asked him, I was like, why don't you get to use Kyler Murray? Everybody else does at the school. He kind of laughed and said, well, he's got his hands full between what he's doing. Bunt is on the first base line, just rolls foul. Thought Ressmeyer might make a play on it. So much spin coming off that bat, though. And that'll be the second strike in the at-bat.
I think for Allen especially, they're doing okay there without Mr. Murray.
They've got numbers, don't they?
I think they made the regional final. That's, 2 years in a row now without him. I think they made the state tournament last year or something like that. So, I mean, they, as fun as that would be, similar to a Soso Jamabo deal with Plano West, a luxury more than anything, they seem to be doing just fine without him.
Well, you just, think about Soso playing for Coach Clark at Plano West. I bet Kevin would like that. Pitch comes in and hits Thornquist. And that is not what Livingston wanted to do. Second batter hit by Keaton. But he had an 0-2 count, was ahead of the catcher. Now he's on base and will be lifted for the courtesy runner, Alex Jensen. Jensen on first, Jureka on third. Here comes Chad Paris with a great opportunity. Runners at the corners, one out. He's a tough man to double up anyway, so we'll see what Coach Wallace wants. You want to see him execute, get down the bunt, try to get that run home. Just swing away, put the ball into play. A lot of options available here for the Jaguars. They lead it 2-0 in the bottom of the 6th. Another step off, fake to third, and look back to first. And one of my favorite color commentators of all time. Great Mark Grace always used to say that play hadn't worked since Abner Doubleday was in short pants. Bunt is laid down by Paris to the first base side. The run comes home. Great execution by Paris and the Jaguars as they push the lead now 3-0 as Jureka scores.
Just another weapon for the Jags. Everybody can bunt. Everybody moves everybody along. Total team effort for something that not everybody follows anymore.
You had Scott's leadoff single. Since then, a pair of sacrifice bunts sandwiched around a hit by pitch, of which Thornquist, who got hit, was trying to get the bunt down himself. So the lineup will now reset. The docile tones of Johnny Cash let you know that Noah Hill stepping to the plate. Will ask for time as I think Livingston had even looked at the plate once. He was firmly affixed on Jensen on second. Off speed catches at the knees for a strike. Livingston with a long look. Now the 0-1 to Hill. Too far inside this time. Jason Reitmeyer's in left. Will Hollis is in center. Bronson Hallbeck in right. All playing fairly straight away. And a decent depth for the hot-hitting Hill. Still looking for his first hit of the night, though. Smokes this one, but right at the glove of Duranzik at third. That's a line shot to the hot corner. Great play by Duranzik. That'll do it for the sixth. Jaguars add another insurance run. They do it with the benefit of one base hit. There were no errors and a runner left. 6 full in the books. Last chance time for the Broncos. It's 3-0 Flower Mound as we head to the top of the seventh. You're watching CSR TV and listening to Champion Sports Radio.
Stay up on all the latest news about the teams you care about and know when your favorite games are on the air thanks to Champion Sports Radio social media. Either follow @Champion Sports on Twitter or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, and you will know what time your game starts, who was named Player of the Week, or what your school's alumni are doing in college. That's on Twitter @Champion Sports and facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship social media.
In Command Broadcasting, a sports TV broadcasting and marketing company. In Command Broadcasting provides a wide array of turnkey video production and streaming services. In Command services include filming of sporting events, season highlights, school graduations, corporate infomercials, and documentaries. In Command streams your sporting event or company function over the internet live or on demand. Call 972-851-7888 to raise the energy of your next event. In Command Broadcasting, 972-851-7888.
Back here at the mound in Flower Mound, we head to the top of the seventh. Flower Mound with a 3-0 lead in the Boyd Broncos. For McKinney Boyd, it'll be 2, 3, and 4. Burloff, Hollis, and Webb. So some good bats at the plate to face off against Killian, looking to close things out. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error for Boyd. 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Jags. And Burloff, who had only seen 4 pitches total in his 2 at-bats, now ahead 2-0. Leading things off this half inning brought to you by D-Bat Louisville, a proud sponsor of Jaguar Baseball, with a premier climate-controlled baseball and softball academy, complete with 10 cages and a fully stocked pro shop. Find out some more information. Visit their website online at dbatlouisville.com. That's dbatlouisville.com. Find out information on individual lessons and team workouts. As Killian finds the zone there for a strike. Two-one swung on and sent to right field. Paris on his horse, ranging back, can't make the catch. Double for Burloff. First extra base hit of the night, only the second hit off of Killian. Snaps a streak of 15 consecutive retired by Caleb. And Danny Wallace looks like he's headed to the mound. He's in no hurry. So I'm sure the idea was to try to let Caleb get through this seventh. He's thrown 89 pitches unofficially, 59 of them for strikes. 8 strikeouts and now 2 hits allowed, but leadoff man on third. This just goes back to, imagine the pressure situation it would be right here without the insurance manufactured runs that the Jaguars put up. Well, heck, the third, the fourth, or really working at those 2 innings with the man aboard and moving him over and all those sorts of things. The sacrifice bunts last inning, leading to the squeeze to get him home. Without those things, this would be a much different situation. And Caleb Killian's night is done. A big ovation here from the home crowd. As he comes out, he's responsible for the man at second in Burloff. But a great game, a 2-hitter through 6+ innings. 8 strikeouts, no walks. Is responsible for Burloff, but to this point, no runs. Didn't hit any batters. Very economical with his 89 pitches through 6+ innings. We'll step aside for a break as the Jaguars make a call to the pen. CSR TV's coverage of 6-6A baseball continues in a moment.
Many heart conditions can be fixed, but many of us don't know we have a problem until it's too late. On April 2nd, 2009, Zachary Schraw, a 16-year-old sophomore offensive lineman, died of sudden cardiac arrest, the #1 cause of death among student athletes. Like so many SCA victims, Zach had no heart issues, nor did anyone in his family. If Zach had an echocardiogram, he might have been able to avoid suffering a condition that takes 10,000 of our youth each year. In his memory, Living for Zachary was formed to try and prevent SCA from taking the lives of youth everywhere. Join in the fight today and stop the silent killer of SCA by scheduling your young athlete for an echocardiogram, a procedure that can detect any heart issue with 99% accuracy. For more information, visit www.livingforzachary.org. That's living4zachary.org, and let your heart be heard.
Flower Mound 3, Boyd nothing. Broncos no runs on 2 hits, 1 error. Flower Mound 3 runs on 6 hits, no errors. New pitcher in the ball game with nobody out in the 7th and a man on second is going to be Parker Scott as he relieves Killian. Scott, the 6-foot, 170-pound junior, is looking through, got several D1 offers already. He comes into the ball game with a 1-1 record, a 1.17 earned run average. This is his 3rd appearance. He's thrown 12 innings coming in, surrendering 6 hits, 3 runs, only 2 earned. 1 walks against very impressive 11 strikeouts. Has hit a batter, has not allowed a home run, but opponents are only hitting 140 off of Scott, whose first pitch goes between the wickets of Thornquist and advances Burloff over to third base with nobody out. But the run at third doesn't necessarily beat you here. Scott coming in out of the pen with his first action in varsity district play. Fastball, great location there for a strike count, even 1-1. So important here to focus on the plates. Until there's at least somebody else on base, one swing can't beat you. Good block by Thornquist. 2-1 the count. Will Hollis is headed to DBU, the only baseball player that's committed or signed to play at the next level. He's the big boy. And he'll be teammates with Jamison Hanna next year, although only one of them can play center field. They both are center fielders here tonight. Big strikeout for Scott. Got Hollis swinging. That's the first out here in the 7th. Fastball gets up into the upper 80s with consistency. Lots of movement on it, as we saw. But the breaking ball, when it is effective, it's not just a plus pitch, it's a plus pitch. High into the air as it's fouled up and over. And fans get out of the way in the standing area just beyond the grandstands here. Mound at Flower Mound. That's strike one from Scott to Braden Webb, the shortstop who has one of the 2 Boyd hits tonight. 7th inning of Jaguar baseball brought to you in part by Locker Room Sports, conveniently located at 1565 West Main Street in Louisville. For all your sporting equipment and uniform clothing needs, visit them online at lrsportstore.com or at their retail outlet in Louisville. Webb couldn't catch up to that one. The count now 0-2. Burloff still on third, not getting much of Scott's attention. Good testament to that young man. He's focused where he needs to be. The mitt of Nick Thornquist. Off speed, just got a piece of it to stay alive, did Webb. Counts 0-2. Meanwhile, the Allen Eagles have tied things up with Plano. It's 5 apiece as they are in the top of the 7th inning at Eagle Field. Well, fans thought that was a strike. Home plate umpire says ball 1. Another pitch that the fans are up at. Not called a strike. Count is now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ball too short. Jacobson up with it. The throw across in time. That will score the run, though. But there are 2 outs now in the 7th, and the 6-3 RBI ground out by Braden Webb. Broncos down now to their final out, although they have scratched across the first run allowed by the Jaguars in district play this season. Flower Mound leads at 3-1.
First baseman, number 24, Grant Ressmeyer.
So now it's up to the former Bronco quarterback. Grant Ressmeyer takes first pitch low and inside for ball 1. Over at Hawks Field, Marcus has taken a 2-1 lead on a bases-loaded walk by Ringsdorf. Easily scored, and Wheeler and Jackson were also on base when he was walked. So it's Marcus 2, Hebron 1 as they play in the bottom of the 7th, 1 out. Good swing on this one. A little tardy, though, and it's fouled on the first base line. 2-1 the count. That's what I was expecting from these district ball games, this district of death. 5-5 between Plano and Allen, 2-1 in the 7th, as Marcus snakes ahead. And, of course, 3-1 here at Flower Mound. Nice one-hopper back to the mound. Scott, the throw over to first. The Jaguars are 2-0 in district play thanks to a 1-3 ground out. It's a 3-1 win for Flower Mound over the Boyd Broncos. The win to Caleb Killian. He's 2-1. The save for Parker Scott, his first save of the season. First save for the Jaguars in 2015. In the 7th, 1 run on 1 hit. There were no errors. Nobody left on base. That's your final 3-1. Flower Mound wins it. 1 run on 2 hits. 1 error for the Broncos. Just 1 runner left on base for the Flower Mound Jaguars. 3 runs on 6 hits. No errors, and the Jaguars stand 7. 3-1 final. Flower Mound moves to 2-0 in district play. 10-2 overall. We'll be back after these messages to begin the post-game show, have a conversation with Danny Wallace, and wrap things up here from the mound at Flower Mound. All that will continue in a moment. You're watching CSR TV and listening to Champion Sports Radio. Jaguars win it 3-1. Back to the mound after these messages.
This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by Champion Sports Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream, and any and all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Champion Sports Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Champion Sports Radio and ChampionSportsRadio.com. This is a presentation of Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcasts.
In Command Broadcasting, a sports TV broadcasting and marketing company. In Command Broadcasting provides a wide array of turnkey video production and streaming services. In Command services include filming of sporting events, season highlights, school graduations, corporate infomercials, and documentaries. In Command streams your sporting event or company function over the internet live or on demand. Call 972-851-7888 to raise the energy of your next event. In Command Broadcasting, 972-851-7888.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores! 2 points for team middle management.
The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
Writer Gerald Early said that when they study our civilization 2,000 years from now, there will only be 3 things that Americans will be known for: the Constitution, baseball, and jazz music. GDYO's Jazz Institute provides young musicians in North Texas the opportunity to learn what it means to be a jazz musician through weekly technique classes and combo rehearsals with professional jazz musicians. From the first note to the final round of applause, GDYO Jazz Institute concerts will amaze and delight both hardcore jazz cats and new fans alike. Learn more about the truly original American art form through the GDYO Jazz Institute online at gdyo.org/jazz.
Are you looking for a way to promote your business or increase exposure? Do you just need more people to know that you're there? Join the Champion Sports Radio team and advertise during these games. In the last 4 years, Champion Sports Radio has broadcast over 600 games to more than 3.5 million listeners. And Champion Sports Radio wants to help you use major high school sports to reach thousands of local fans right in your community. Think about it. Die-hard fans just like you tune in each and every week, giving your business unparalleled access to the community. It's the perfect way for smaller individually owned businesses to cultivate a core clientele or expand their already loyal customer base. To secure your prime commercial spot during the broadcast, contact Thomas Lee at Champion Sports Radio by phone at 972-741-0334. That's 972-741-0334 or online at championsportsradio.com. Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcast.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimates that nearly 4 million brain injuries occur every year due to sports in the U.S. They also estimate that 70% of concussions go unreported. Not identifying concussions early can be devastating, especially if the athlete continues to play with symptoms. Catching hard hits fast is critical, and that's why you need the Shockbox Helmet Impact Sensor. The Shockbox is a small sensor that easily attaches to most football, lacrosse, and hockey helmets and instantly sends a signal to a smartphone on the sidelines when the player has taken a hard hit that puts them at higher risk for injury. The free app receives data from the sensor, displays information about the impact, and even walks the user through a concussion assessment. The app also logs symptom and impact data for future medical use. Visit ShopboxDFW.com to learn more about the Shockbox Impact Alert Sensor and determine if it is the right option for your child. Be warned instantly when a player has experienced a head impact that could result in a concussion. Visit ShockboxDFW.com today. ShockboxDFW.com.
And welcome back here to the field. Jaguars winners tonight 3-1 over the Boyd Broncos. Thomas Lee now joined by Danny Wallace, the head coach of the Jags. And after last night's 2-touchdown performance, we got to an actual baseball game tonight. It was a lot of fun for the fans, especially with how dialed in it seemed like the kids were. What was your impression from the dugout?
Oh, it was a good baseball game. Caleb pitched great, and they made just enough plays on defense to keep the game from getting away from them. The third baseman probably saved them 3 runs. And it's completely different if he doesn't make those 2 plays. It's probably 5-6 to nothing at that point. So, but that's what it's supposed to be. We feel like they'll end up being one of the playoff teams. So tonight is a good win.
Pretty impressive when Killian goes out there, does what he does, retires the first 6 in a row, lets a base runner come on, gets 15 in a row, and I'm sure you're thinking, well, I guess we're not going to get to use the bullpen tonight because he's just rolling with a one-hitter. Just a really great at-bat to get that double to lead off the 7th, and then you got to go to the pen and show one of the biggest strengths I think you have, and that's your pitching depth.
Yeah, we're not going to, he didn't want to come out, and I just told him I said, hey, it's just not the way it works here. When a guy gets to a point where it's probably time, we don't have to tell guys, hey, you need you to suck it up right here and get me 2 more. We just go to the next guy. We did it last year with BJ and Seth and Kyle, and now we'll do it with another group, and you bring in a fresh arm like Parker Scott and let him do what he did.
So many teams around the state just so jealous of the depth that you have there, but there's a certain part of it too. I mean, you wouldn't want a guy like Killian to be out there and say, okay, I'm ready to come out now. That's what you want out of these guys, but at the same time, they're such team players that they'd never mind handing it off knowing the next guy's going to do the job.
Yeah, that's the good thing. I mean, if you busted your tail for 6+ innings like he had, he doesn't have to worry about, well, if I hand it off, the bullpen's not going to save this. And so here they know, I'll just hand it to the next guy and he'll get it done.
Pretty impressive strikeout numbers for your 2 pitchers tonight, too. Sometimes the players out in the field can get a little bored. I mean, all these outs being rung up at the plate, right? Is any ever an issue of keeping the focus out there?
No, it is an issue. Sometimes teams that have strikeout staffs don't field real well because they get on their heels. Fortunately, there's 2-3-year seniors up the middle constantly reminding people, and that's typically where the mistakes will happen, or on ground balls. And those 2 guys, though, they've been around for so long, I don't have to worry about it as much.
Tonight also showed one of the special things about your teams at Flower Mound, manufacturing runs. You got guys on, you got them over, you got them in. And we were talking about it. I mean, there's probably nobody else in the state of Texas is going to have their leadoff hitter put down a bunt. Now, your leadoff hitter may be the best bunter on the team, so that certainly helps the decision-making process. But it is a team in every aspect offensively, knowing that, hey, I'm going to do my job. I'm going to move them over. Somebody else is going to drive them in.
Yeah, they know. I mean, it's what we do here. We're going to move runners and let the next guy move the runner in. And it doesn't really matter who's up. I probably should have had Hannah bunt in the first inning, but he's just been hitting the ball so hard, and then he hits a really hard ground ball to second. That's the only way they're going to turn double play on him, is if he hits a ball just like that to second base. And I was kind of kicking myself as we looked up, and it was 1-0, and I was like, gosh, I'd like to have that run, but it worked out. And sometimes we don't bunt, and that's part of it too. They'll lay back, and so it's a little bit of what are they going to do next? Are they going to bunt? Are they going to slash? Are they just going to hit? And we like that. because there's a little sense of unknown because everybody thinks they know what we're going to do all the time, and about that time we'll swing away and maybe force something. So, and we did a little tonight, but like I said, Hannah's base hit to left field's hit too hard, and Weimer gets completely robbed over here, and then Noah hits a ball that's headed to the corner, and third baseman just happens to be standing in the right spot. So.
That left fielder, though, Reitmeyer, has a cannon, too, and I saw he almost got Paris. If he throws a little more online, there might have been a play there early on, and I saw later in the game you held up Skylar. It's like, okay, we're going to wait for the next guy because this is going to be tough. Yeah, and I typically will not hold up runners. It's just my philosophy that, we're going to make you pick it up, we're going to make you throw it, make you hit your target, and then, they still got to tag you, umpire still got to get the call. So there's too many things that can go wrong, so typically we'll go. But, after I saw the first throw and he kind of earned my respect at that point, so I went ahead and held up. And different situation, I might have run anyway, but I kind of liked where we were at, so we held up. Well, this 3 games in 4 days stretch is going to conclude at Plano on Saturday. 12:55 we'll be on with the pregame, 1 o'clock first pitch. How do you feel 2 games in the books here going into that game against Plano, who was a regional finalist last year?
It's our district. It just is what it is. I mean, it's a cliche now, but there's just not going to be many nights off in this league. And I know their backs are kind of against the wall right now. If they were to stumble tonight against Allen and get to 0-2 and have us come in, then we're going to face a wounded team that knows they can't go 0-3. And so we'll have our hands full. But we'll put Parker on the bump. And Sean's rested if he needs to relieve him and see if we can get 2 road wins the first week of district.
Yeah, did Sean hardly break a sweat last night in the 2 innings he threw?
No, he didn't. And and that was the decision we made when we exploded for the 6, was that there's no sense for him to pitch when we might want to use him later in the week.
Well, we're having a lot of fun. Hope you're having fun as well. Congratulations on being 2-0 in district.
Thank you.
That's Danny Wallace, the head coach of the Jaguars. We'll be back. Wrap things up after a few messages. You're watching CSR TV. Jags win at 3-1 tonight. Back to the mound after these messages.
Point of Origin Design is your one-stop shop for all your apparel, promotional, event, or team uniform needs. Point of Origin Design is a full-service design and logo creation company that offers a wide variety of imprintable and embroidered products. With competitive pricing and quality work, you can't go wrong with Point of Origin Design. It's always best to start at the right point, so visit them online at pointoforigindesign.com. Let them help you plan your next promotional item or design your next t-shirt. That's online at pointoforigindesign.com.
Are you tired of only spending time as a family huddled around the TV? Would you like to enjoy some culture with your loved ones without breaking the bank? Then let me introduce you to the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra. The GDYO provides music education and performance opportunities for musically talented youth, but this is no kids' concert. The GDYO comprises 7 different ensembles made up of over 425 talented musicians ages 8 to 18, representing more than 50 communities in North Texas. You won't believe how amazing these ensembles sound until you hear it for yourself. So join them for one of their concerts at the Meyerson Symphony Center or Dallas City Performance Hall. For more information on how to make a donation, as well as a listing of upcoming GDYO concerts, visit gdyo.org. And if you know a talented young musician interested in an unbelievable experience, auditions take place in the spring. Connect with the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and at gdyo.org.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores! 2 points for team middle management.
The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
Many heart conditions can be fixed, but many of us don't know we have a problem until it's too late. On April 2, 2009, Zachary Schroff, a 16-year-old sophomore offensive lineman, died of sudden cardiac arrest, the #1 cause of death among student athletes. Like so many SCA victims, Zach had no heart issues, nor did anyone in his family. If Zach had an echocardiogram, he might have been able to avoid suffering a condition that takes 10,000 of our youth each year. In his memory, Living for Zachary was formed to try and prevent SCA from taking the lives of youth everywhere. Join in the fight today and stop the silent killer of SCA by scheduling your young athlete for an echocardiogram, a procedure that can detect any heart issue with 99% accuracy. For more information, visit www.livingforzachary.org. That's living4zachary.org, and let your heart be heard.
Welcome back here to the Mound at Flower Mound. 3-1 the final as the Jaguars win it over the Boyd Broncos. Flower Mound runs their record to 10-2 overall, 2-0 in District 6-6A play. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error, 1 left on for Boyd. 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors, 7 left on base for the Jaguars. Winner tonight, Caleb Killian, now 2-1 on the season. 89 pitches thrown for the junior, 59 of them for strikes in 6+ innings. Surrendered 2 base hits, struck out 8, allowed 1 run. It was earned, a double to lead off the 7th by Burloff. Parker Scott came in, retired all 3 batters he faced, including 1 via a strikeout. 15 pitches thrown, 9 for strikes. In 1 inning of work, Scott picked up his first save of the season. Killian gets the win. For the Boyd Broncos, Keaton Livingston, 6 innings of work, surrendered 6 base hits, 3 runs, walked a batter, hit 2, and both of those factored in, both of those hit by pitch factored into runs coming across for the Jags. There was also 1 error that didn't help the cause either, but tough night for Livingston. 6 innings pitched through 95 pitches, 61's across for strike. He's the hard luck loser. Offensively, first for the Boyd Broncos, Duranczyk 0 for 3, leading it off, batting second. Burloff, the second baseman, was 1 for 3. Doubled, came around to score in the only run of the game for the Broncos in the 7th inning. Will Hollis 0 for 3, a pair of strikeouts. Braden Webb in the 4-hole. Cleanup hitter 1 for 3, singled in the 2nd, and had an RBI ground out in the 7th to bring Burloff home. Grant Ressmeyer, the first baseman, 0 for 3. Ground outs to short, first, and back to the pitcher. Jason Reitmeyer, 0 for 2, pair of strikeouts. In the 7th spot is Nathan McKinnis, the designated hitter. He was 0 for 2 with a strikeout looking. Ross Matisick, the catcher, in the 8th spot. He was 0 for 2 with a strikeout swinging. And Bronson Hallbeck, the right fielder, 0 for 2, pair of strikeouts, both looking against Killian. Offensively for the Jaguars, Noah Hill, 0 for 3, but put down a sacrifice bunt in the 5th inning. Skylar Cox, 1 for 2, singled in the 1st, sacrifice fly, RBI in the 3rd, hit by a pitch in the 5th, stranded at 3rd base there. Sean Weimer in the 3-hole, hitless tonight, reached base twice, once on an error, once on a fielder's choice, officially 0 for 3, struck out swinging in the 3rd. Jamison Hanna in the 4-hole was 1 for 3 with a 2-out single in the 5th. Casey Jacobson finishes the night 1 for 3 with a run score. That run proved to be the winning margin. That was the 2nd run for the Jaguars that came across in the 4th inning. Parker Scott, 2 for 3 with an RBI single in the 4th, singled in the 6th. Trevor Jureka came on to be his pinch runner. He came across and scored. Sean Holhouse in the 7th spot, 0 for 1, walked in the 2nd, grounded to 2nd in the 4th, and laid down a beautiful sacrifice bunt in the 6th to advance Jureka. Nick Thornquist in the 8-hole, 0 for 2, was hit by a pitch in the 6th. Alex Jensen came on to run for him as his courtesy runner was stranded at 2nd base. And in the 9-hole, Chad Paris. He was 1 for 1 tonight, hit by a pitch, stole a base, scored in the 3rd, singled in the 5th, beautiful sacrifice bunt RBI in the 6th. So 1 for 1 with a stolen base, a run scored, and an RBI for Paris in the 9-hole. It all adds up to a 3-1 win for the Flower Mound Jaguars over the Boyd Broncos. Get you caught up on the other district games that all came down to the wire tonight, aside from West beating East 10-0. Allen scores in the bottom of the 7th as Kyler Murray comes in after a McDonald single to lift Allen to a 6-5 win over the Plano Wildcats. That means the Wildcats in the Region 2 finals last year will be 0-2 when the Jaguars head to Parker and Independence on Saturday afternoon, a game you can see right here on CSR TV. And we already told you as well that Marcus comes through with a big run in the 6th inning. And that is going to lift them to a win 2-1 over the Hebron Hawks. So 2-1 final, Marcus over Hebron, 6-5, Allen over Plano, and West drubs East tonight 10-0 in 5 innings. And, of course, Jaguars with a 3-1 win. So I bring back in the Dr. Alex Sterling. You can see the tarp being put on the field just in case. I was down there talking to the coaches about it. With the weather coming through, better safe than sorry this time of year. Coach Wallace said, I'm really getting tired of worrying about tarps and schedules and snow and rain. He's like, I would just want to play baseball. And right now they're doing the smart thing of putting the tarp on the field just in case they need to play. Next home game will be Tuesday back here at the Mound. But final thoughts from this one. Last night, Flower Mound just all over Plano East. Tonight, winning an actual baseball game in Flower Mound style. Dominant pitching, great defense, manufacturing runs, get the 3-1 win.
I mean, it's the same formula they dealt with last year. Move people along, bunt, steal bases, play great defense, have great pitching. Same formula. They look great. From what I could tell, it's nice to see guys stepping up that were, I guess you would call role players last year, like a Jamison Hanna, who's leading the team in RBIs, who's hitting really well. Seeing Chad Paris, see him go from the super utility guy being, the base stealer from last year, getting opportunities this year and still showing those qualities as an everyday player that made him so useful last year that, it's nice to see players step up and see kind of who learned from this. And something I noticed during the game, every starter, whether they've already been here or not, have all played on the varsity level, so it's not new to them playing this year where while the expectations are high like they always are, it's not going to scare any of these guys. They've all got varsity experience, and it shouldn't be anything new as we fight through this district. They had that experience last year for a tough district. This almost seems even tougher, which I can't believe I'm even saying that. So it makes it a better challenge where they're more prepared for what lies ahead, but they've got all the tools to win this district.
That's a very good point. I feel like the fresh faces are the guys on the mound, and they're doing what they've always done. Now they're getting that experience in district play. Obviously, Weimer had the experience coming in, but whether it was Lauer or Willis last night or Killian and Scott tonight, these guys are honing their craft, and they're going to be ready to go. And it's going to be a lot of fun to see what this team can do as they continue to try to build towards defending their state championship. That'll do it for us here tonight. Special thanks to the Dr. Alex Sterling, riding shotgun with me through the entire Flower Mound season. For all of us at Champion Sports Radio, my name is Thomas Lee. Once again, your final score 3-1 as the Jags get the win over the Boyd Broncos. Broncos had 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error, 1 left on base. Flower Mound Jaguars 3 runs on 6 hits, no errors, 7 left aboard. We'll be back at you Saturday afternoon, 12:55 pregame, 1 o'clock first pitch. As the Jaguars take back to the road, take on the Plano Wildcats, who will be coming in 0-2 in district play. Things I didn't thought I'd be saying as we head into that Saturday showdown here on Champion Sports Radio. For all of us, again, my name is Thomas Lee. Thanks so much for making us part of your high school baseball experience. Have a great Friday night off, folks, and we'll see you Saturday right back here on CSR TV.